revelator aggregator. So the more I've thought about this Mama Nipsey Hussle eulogy, the more I've kind of opened my eyes to this whole agenda she's pushing. And I'm pretty sure that she and that Sammy Davis Jr. looking daddy are New World Order agents. Side note, Sammy Davis Jr. was a Satanist. So in my previous video, I kind of had to stop prematurely because I just couldn't stand to listen to any more of her Luciferian sermon / eulogy. But this time I forced myself to listen to a little bit more. And unbelievably, she counsels these susceptible, grieving kids to adopt a vegan lifestyle at her son's funeral. Boy, that makes tons of sense. That's rational. So I dug a little bit deeper, and I'm going to have to do a future video on this, and I've suspected it for a while, but I'm pretty sure the whole vegan lifestyle thing is a quote-unquote Illuminati plot to weaken us peasants and make us less fertile and virile, because Gandhi himself eventually went back to goat's milk because he realized that being totally vegan just made people weak and easy to control. And I'm going to look more into this, and I'm also going to look more into Mama Nipsey Hussle's church, that KRST mess. I bet you dollars to donuts it's some kind of mind control, Illuminized front for some hoogie boogie foolishness. But I'll have more on that later as well. But this whole thing's just seemed staged to me. I mean, I was suspicious with him quote-unquote dying. Once the scales fall off your eyes and once the veil drops and you start to see things for how they are and not how they appear to be in this fallen world, this dimensional reality we live in, you kind of get hip to the scripts that the Zionist illuminated fallen individuals that are temporarily in charge here. You kind of start to get an idea of the script, the reality scripts they're running all the time. So from Jump Street, I've suspected he was either a sacrifice, some kind of weirdo hoogie boogie sacrifice, or he was a death faker. I don't listen to that mess anymore, but First Lady Aggregator advised me that he was kind of a mediocre rapper. So he'd be... And then they've constructed this whole narrative around him, like he was doing good for his community and blah, blah, blah. So they've already made him this, like, hero in the minds of the black youth. Let me make clear that I don't think this way, because I don't think like some kind of weirdo Illuminati reptile. I don't mean reptilian, but I mean they think like reptiles. Meaning calculating and how can I use this person to achieve my ends. But I'm guessing they assumed since he was a mediocre rapper, they couldn't get a lot of mileage out of him that way. But they could either have him fake his death or do some kind of sacrifice and then gin up all this grief and negative emotion and energy for one of their weirdo magic rituals. And I mean, I don't know a lot about that because I don't want to know a lot about that because that's totally antithetical to my view, but supposedly that's what they do. And then they just build him up as this messianic type figure, like giving back to the community and had his store in the community and what a great guy, and hyped him all up. So to make the grief even worse and focus all the attention on him, and then they had this big memorial service where they rolled out every single New World Order Illuminati agenda they could think to fling out. Stevie Wonder was even there pushing gun control, even though Nipsey was shot in a state with like hardcore gun control. You got Mama Nipsey Hussle there talking about a vegan lifestyle at her son's funeral, because I mean obviously when you lose a child you want to tout the benefits of a vegan lifestyle. Then she had that weird demonic invocation stuff where she was summoning the Hoogie Boogie ancestors. And for more on that and why they were not ancestors she was really talking about, see my previous video. Back in the day, I dated this gal who was, before I rededicated my life to Jesus, and I still didn't understand the depth of the spiritual battle that's going on in this world. I dated this gal whose dad was Nigerian, and he was into that all that crazy hoodoo, ancestor worship, witch doctor stuff, the original voodoo, basically, that goes all the way back to Africa, the pure form. I was visiting her parents' house one time and went into one room, and there were like chicken skeletons and stuff on the floor. And ultimately, that's what that religion is. It's like manipulating negative energies with sacrifice and all kinds of crazy dark rituals. But it sure didn't give me no sense of like warm spiritual purpose seeing like chicken skeletons on the floor. So no thanks, Nipsey Hussle Mama. I don't believe I'll be adopting your crazy hoogie boogie religion, but thank you for the offer. Like I said, I'm going to look into her church too, because I'm sure there's some interesting connections there. So again, my theory was they set this whole thing up as an event to try to lure black youth into this weird hoogie boogie demon worship religion, and push all these other New World Order agendas on these kids. And I think they've got bigger and better things planned for old Mama Nipsey Hussle. I think they're grooming her for some big plays and some big agendas. Father God bless you all. Jesus Christ saves, and stay positive.